What's up, y'all? We are here to talk about Investfest 2023. I'm here with my mom.
Hello.
This was her first time experiencing Investfest. Y'all know I went the first 2 years and I'm going every year because it's so much knowledge to gain and so many people to meet. So we're going to be touching a few different topics in this video. Check the timestamps below if you have anything specifically that you know that you want to watch. If you want to fast forward or whatever, because I know everybody don't want to watch everything. So we got the timestamps below, saving you time. And, you know, you could just watch the whole thing and kick it with us if you want to. We here. Willing to accept the best that life has to offer.
Everything is working for my greater good.
Everything is working for my greatest good.
Wealth is in me, around me, and around me always.
Wealth is in me, around me.
I will make, manage, and multiply money.
Make, manage, and multiply money.
My self-worth and network are building every day.
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 My self-worth and network are building every day. So, Mom, for this being your first time at Investfest, what would you say was your favorite part of Investfest and your overall thoughts?
I would say just, all the knowledge that was given, all the speakers that they brought in, and just, being in a room full of people who were there to get the knowledge and just feeling the vibe of everyone. I really like what they were saying, how, we need to stay focused, stay consistent in what we're doing. Just a lot of information that, talk about entrepreneurs, investing, and how we need to be building skills. It was just a lot of information.
Yeah, it was. What was your favorite panel?
I wouldn't say I have a favorite.
Okay.
I like them all because I got points from each one.
Yeah.
So I really like Humble. He was very good.
Yeah, I like him too. He had a lot of great motivations and stuff that he said. One thing that he said that stood out to me was there's no way to out-invest bad habits. And he also gave us an actionable step of writing down a stop doing list. So we always put our to-do lists down, but we don't talk about the habits that we want to release and stop doing. I tend to do that, but I think a lot of people don't, and I like to do that with the full moon and stuff to release the bad habits that I realized in that cycle I wanted to release. We're going to talk about building capital and building credit. It was a couple different people. One in particular was Robert F. Smith. He talked a lot about capital versus labor. He talked a lot about our credit worthiness. And in the last couple Investfest, I talked a lot about credit, and I do have a few pointers again for credit. But I feel like we kind of we get it. We just need to implement it, right? So making sure that we know making sure that we know how to leverage credit and to use our credit worthiness to really help us advance. There's really no point in living in this country unless you're going to take advantage of credit, to me. Because that's one of the biggest things that we offer that other countries don't. So why wouldn't you take advantage of one of the few things that we do have, Right.
So yeah, he was just talking about the difference between labor and capital. How you want to be on the other side. Don't be a laborer. You want to be, have capitalism. So you want to take advantage of that. And so that's one of the things I appreciate about that. So he's just saying use capital for value and wealth, and also how you want to have skills and habits. How important habits is too, because with good habits is what's going to cause you to build capitalism, to have capital.
Build capital, yeah. Yeah, and then also he was talking about he talked a little bit about investment banking, And then also about how to leverage your assets. He was talking about when you are looking to take equity out of one of your assets, making sure that you know exactly what you're going to do with that money and how you're going to pay yourself back. Not just taking it out and be like, oh, I'm going to do this to do that, or taking it out on something that's not producing that income. You know, anytime you're taking away from an investment, from an asset that you already have, you want to make sure that any of those profits you use are only bringing in more profits. And that's how you grow and build capital.
Right. That's what you're saying. Don't take money, equity out of your home just to take a vacation. You know, he was just saying how you want to use that to invest in something else where you getting your money back.
Mm-hmm. Or a car. A car is not an asset. Right. You can use it for toll road and stuff if you get a nice car, but yeah. So just take out equity just to buy a car. And just to kind of bring it back to credit, the first panel that we saw when we got there was about credit. And just one quick point about credit is credit companies are only privy to the balance that you have on your statement date. So you know about your reporting day. You can always look at your credit to see when your cards are reporting. And you want to pay your credit card down at least 3 days before that statement date. And to build your credit, keeping your utilization under 10%. They always tell us 30, but when you're really trying to grow your credit, keeping your utilization under 10% is extremely beneficial.
And before you apply to get a loan, you should have your credit utilization even lower. They say like between 1 to 3% just before you're applying for a loan.
Yeah, smart.
The simple way to remember it is that the revocable trust is something that you can change easily, you can terminate it, make adjustments that your family not able to change. With the irrevocable trust, it is pretty final when you create that. And the reason why you would consider the irrevocable over the revocable is if you're considering creditor protection and all of those things.
Credit protection, what do you mean by that? Like, so if I'm going through bankruptcy and I'm trying to hide my assets and hide my money, if I'm going through a divorce or child support or something like that, you try and say we can just set up a trust and they can't do nothing, the courts can't do nothing about it?
So the one thing that you cannot do with irrevocable trust is to be fraudulent with it. So you have to be very clear in your timing and creating these trusts. You can't say, oh, Sam is about to sue me. Let me go set up this irrevocable trust so Sam can't get to my stuff. No, you have to pre-plan for these potential things to happen. Because otherwise, Sam can still ask the court to reach into that trust and pull out what you owe Sam. If you were just trying to have something in place to make it clear who is to receive the benefits of what you built throughout your lifetime, a will is a very good start. But what most people don't understand is that a will has to go through probate court. And nobody wants to do that. They don't want to be like Prince's estate or Aretha Franklin because it takes years, it's complicated, and expensive. So whenever I have clients create trust, it gives them more finality and it keeps it out of probate. But the one thing that I always explain to clients is that even if you have a trust, it does you no good unless you put something in that trust. And just for simplicity's sake, a trust is like a box. Why would you carry around an empty box? You need to either put $10 in that box, a house in that box, jewelry, artwork, whatever it is. But if you forget to put something in that box, the will is the document that controls where everything that you left outside of it goes. So the executor is the person who you nominate in your will to administer your estate. They're going to be the person to go close out the bank accounts, obtain the life, get the life insurance, and pay it out to your beneficiaries. And this is one difference between the will and the trust. Whenever you're probating the will, your creditors get in line first before any of your beneficiaries. So that executor, by law, has to pay off your debt first, and then make distributions to your beneficiaries. Now, the trustee is the person who you nominate in your trust to administer your trust. The good thing about the trust is that it does not go through probate unless you didn't put anything in that box like we talked about earlier.
All right. right, so let's get into content and AI. So the main thing that I really took away from the content panel was knowing your audience, and not just doing what is working for everybody else. Yes, you want to look at analytics, you want to look at, what's going on in the market, but your particular audience is going to resonate with you. So making sure that your content and everything is authentic to you is what's going to help your business and it's going to help you grow.
And I think I like too when it's saying be true to you. You hear people, it's a lot of information out there about social media and content, how you should post every day or how you should post, every week. But basically, you have to do what feels right for you. The whole point they were saying is consistency. To be consistent. That is actually the key right there, just being consistent. If you are a person who only wants to post once a week or once a month, just be consistent. And knowing your audience. And if you say you are going to do something, then do that. So just stay consistent and true to you. If you're not one of those ones who will post every day, then don't post every day.
And don't promise that.
And right, exactly.
Yeah. So whatever you promise, keep your word and stay consistent with that.
And it was talking about how, it might be a lot of people, like you might post every day, but you want to focus on quality, not quantity. Just because you're posting every day or every week, what are you producing quality? So that was another point that they brought up.
Yeah, definitely. And then one thing that they said specifically about YouTube is really that YouTube is more about your content and the quality of your content than the length of your content. There's so many people who gain a lot of views from having short content, but then there's also a lot of people who have a lot of views from doing hour-long, 2-hour-long, videos. And EYL is one of those people, and I feel like they kind of came in and showed that you can do longer videos and still get the views. People actually do want the knowledge as long as it's quality, as long as it's useful. So that was something that I had to take into mind, because even with doing my yoga, I noticed that I get more views on the shorter videos. But honestly, when I do yoga, I'm doing yoga for a little minute. So staying true to myself. Sometimes I do quicker flows, but making sure that I am sharing those longer flows along with the shorter flows, and staying true to myself.
And that's one thing about YouTube, because that's how it works. You have to, it's based on how many views or how long people are viewing your videos. That's one thing about YouTube. So it's different with Instagram. You might want to do shorter, but each platform is a little different. So you kind of want to cater to that as well, because YouTube is not known for shorts or real, so you have to, think about that as well.
Yeah, definitely. And then to talk about like Instagram, because they talked about that a little bit. They talked about what to have in your bio. So making your bio clear on who you serve, what value you're adding, and where you live, so that people can know, if you're offering classes, where are your classes at? So making sure that you are very to the point, so that people know if they want to follow you right off bat. And then for your captions, using SEO, search engine optimization, and knowing that your first line is basically your headline. So put content from your video in your captions, and keep your hashtags. Don't just pick the one that has the most views, because that's oversaturated. So picking a hashtag that really speaks to your video and will really make sure that you're reaching the right audience is most important than picking the one with the most posts.
Right. So let's say you gotta have that hook within the first 2 seconds of the video. That to me, I was like, we do that. But I guess that's where it comes being creative.
And they also said add a call to action. So to get people engaged in your content, tell them what to do. Tell them how they can help. You know, when people really want to support you, they need to know how. So just making sure that you share that information with them. One of the main things that they said about AI was AI allows you to have the idea without being the expert. So you can have the idea, plug it all in, and allow AI to kind of generate things for you to save you time. And also that this is the new wave. So figuring out how your job can use AI, how you can be an asset in AI development, in data access.
That's one thing I found interesting is how long AI has been around. I didn't realize that it has been around, what they say, since 1943. I didn't even realize that. So it's been around a long time. And one thing about using AI, you know, pretty much you can use it for, you know, content with your videos and your business. So it's just, they were saying how time is our most valued asset. So if AI can help you save time, why not use it?
Yeah, facts. And they actually talked about too how they want to, in general, the government and, you know, society wants to move into having a 2-day work week with the use of AI. So if you are one of those people who are on, you know, on point and you know how to utilize AI, you potentially can be that person making the money with a 2-day work week. I'm here for that.
So they did give, one thing I appreciate, they were giving out a lot of gems. Like they gave us a lot of AI sites to use and helping with your business, or, you know, pretty much anything you want to use it for.
Yeah. I actually looked up beautiful.ai for PowerPoint because I was trying to decide if I wanted to use it. I haven't used it yet, but I see it being very beneficial. Just if you need to make a quick professional PowerPoint, for me as a writer as well, making a pitch deck. This can make it so much easier for me to create a pitch deck. I have all the information. All I have to do is plug it in and let you generate it and make it beautiful. I'm here for that.
Like I said earlier, a lot of agencies said evergreen content and 20% current, right? So whenever it's episode like access liabilities, market Mondays, whenever it's episode, anybody can network, what I'll do is I'll like post our content. But when I post our content, I set up like these videos. I open every single time that any guest talk, that any speaker talks on there, and I think all of them. So I'm going to go back to it and operate every
There were 2 panels at the same time that we both wanted to see, and my mom stayed for the real estate development and I went to the reparations panel. I think that I need to make a completely separate video for reparations just because it was so much valuable information, but just to kind of help you understand why you should watch that video, I wanted to say a couple points, and then we can talk about the real estate development. But I mainly want to point out that there is international laws for reparations. This is not something that only Black people in America are entitled to. This is something that every other culture has been entitled to and received following harm. So there's not really a question of should. It's a question of how we're implementing our reparations and how Black Americans are going to receive reparations. So yes, I will get into that a little bit deeper. I still will have the call to action so that you can find more information about reparations and how you can make sure that we are receiving reparations in the description up below. And yeah, so just keep that in mind, that you deserve it. You know that this is nothing new. Every culture has experienced, not every culture, but almost every culture has experienced some sort of harm or slavery, and they receive reparations. We are still experiencing slavery, modern day slavery in this country. And so now we have over 400 years and counting of slavery that we deserve to be compensated for. So yes, keep that in mind. And California has already passed it, so we here now. We just have to make sure that we fight for it, because if we don't fight for it, of course we're not going to get it. So you have to believe that we deserve it and fight for it, and we will get it, because every other culture has. So it's that time. So do you want to talk about the real estate development?
I can. I just want to say a lot of people were talking about the reparations, so I feel like maybe I should have went to see that, but
I got a lot of videos, so you good. I got you covered.
Okay, yeah. So I just want to say that basically because I'm, really into real estate, and how it's just one of the ways to bring generational wealth, have an asset in real estate. They talked about non-recourse loans, credit, and basically getting yourself around people that's going to build a team. People that's really going to help you to grow, move to the next step. Don't be the smartest person in the room. You want to be around people, that's doing what you want to do, and be around them where you can learn from them, learn the business, learn, what you need to do. So you definitely want to be around the right people, and, having a plan, so work hard, have a plan, use your credit as leverage. So yeah, doing all of that is going to help you with real estate. And like I said, being around, the right people and knowing who to talk to. Like if you want to learn about being a, general contractor, actually you don't have to be a general contractor, but be around a general contractor. I'm just saying if you're doing new construction, where, because you would need them with doing new construction, if you, with real estate development. So you would need a general contractor. If you see them working in a certain area or building something, go up to them. Go say, hey, I want to learn from you. And then guess what? You learn from them, and then they will be part of your team. You don't have to actually be the general contractor, but now you know one. Mm-hmm. And so this general contractor have other people on his team. He has a plumber, he has an architect, he has everyone. Mm-hmm. So getting to know that general contractor is helping you get in the door, and he can become part of your team. And that way you can go on, with development. So I did like that point of how, getting to know the people.
Yeah.
And let's see, it was something else. Well, so basically it's like building relationships, getting to know. And two, we hear about that, like when you walk into it's okay to be yourself, but sometimes when you get in a room with people who got the money, you want to show up as your best self, not just, so they saying if you need to put on a suit, put on a suit. Mm-hmm. Walk in the room, be your best self. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean you're not being, that you're not going to be yourself, but you got to present yourself in the best light when you are in these rooms with people where you're trying to get this loan and get money. Mm-hmm. So, that's one thing about it. we have to do that sometimes. We want to put our best foot forward.
Know yourself, stay true to yourself, but put your best foot forward.
Yeah.
And know where you at.
Right.
You know, present yourself accordingly.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. So before we leave you, I want to leave you with a couple books that they talked about. So The Magic of Thinking Big. That's a book. I believe Robert F. Smith. And he was the richest person in the room, I believe.
Yeah.
So I would read that.
Very nice man, though.
Yeah, he was nice. He was really cool, down to earth.
A lot of knowledge.
A lot of knowledge, yes. And then there's a journal, Why AI Will Save the World. I haven't checked that out yet, so I definitely want to check that out. And I don't know how to say his name properly. I can spell it in the description below. But Ta-Nehisi Coates, he has a book about, or an article about reparations that I recommend for everybody to read. They didn't say that, but I'm saying that after watching the reparations panel. You can choose to either read the policy that they created in California for reparations. That's the blueprint for us to receive reparations. Or you can also read both of them, or either or, of the Ta-Nehisi Coates reparations. Yes. Now, let's talk about a couple of these vendors, okay? Because I got me a really dope bucket hat. But I think my favorite vendor was the lady with her 2 daughters.
And that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
She was my favorite.
Yes. So they are called I Got Bank. It's actually 2 daughters, two young women who wanted to start their own business.
And they were like under 10.
Yeah.
Or at least 10 and under. Yeah.
They were, under 10, around that range, at least when they got started.
Right.
Because I think it started in 2019. But they basically are using video games to kind of explain math and financial literacy and just so much knowledge. They have so much knowledge. This is them. I'm going to try to see if I can make it a little bit better for the video. But these are the 2 girls who created this business. And I Got Bank. There's a QR code. All their information is going to be linked below. But it's just beautiful, because it allows parents to use this as a guideline to be able to teach their children financial literacy, because it's so important. They don't teach this to us in the schools, And she also gave us some of these for free, Building Wealth. This one about the Federal Reserve and symbols on American money. Like, so much knowledge, so much beautiful knowledge. And my mom bought a game.
So they had like cards, and on one side, just talking about math, breaking down, wasn't it like bank accounts and things like that? But it was more like financial literacy. And then on the back, once they get the answer, it forms a word on the back of the card. So they had that. They had a calendar breaking down, the financial literacy, just educating the young people on it. So it was very good. I should have brought the cards in.
Yeah.
So you can see them.
Yeah. But you'll be able to check them out on the website.
Yeah.
This is all on the website. That's going to be linked below. And I think you were talking about, so basically showing us how to write out our bank statements instead of relying on them, on the bank, to just say, no, this is how much money you spent. Like, actually keeping a record, because they could tell you whatever. Are you going to let them play with your money like that?
Right.
So, yes. I would say they were definitely my favorite vendor, too.
And the girls was out there. They were out talking to people. They were dressed very nice, and they were just out talking,
bringing people in.
Yes. And the mom just said, how persistent the daughters was. Like, she kept saying, I want to start a business. And she was like, okay, let's do it. So the daughter being persistent is what got her mom moving and helping her get this business started. So I thought that was very impressive at a young age. And we shouldn't underestimate our kids. We need to be educating them, because, future generations is powerful. The knowledge that they have and what they can do. I was very impressed with them. And so it just made me motivated to talk to my grandkids. Get them, just talk with them and get them going.
Yeah.
Motivating them.
Get them thinking about money.
Yeah.
You know, it's not something we always want to be worried about. So when you have financial freedom, you don't have to be worried about it.
Right.
You know, so, and it's something that exists today.
Right.
So we just need to be knowledgeable about how to go about using the system that we live in so that we can live our best lives and have freedom to spend time with our families, have freedom to travel and make these beautiful connections, time to be out in nature and really live in your life, you know. So once you get to that financially free point, you can do that. You can actually live. You don't have to work every day, you know.
Making somebody else rich.
Making somebody else rich. Who want to do that?
Right. So, I mean, it's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5, but in the process still, you want to be investing your money, you know, making your money grow for you, where you're not living paycheck to paycheck. Because we have been so ingrained living that way that we even teaching our kids that way. They're starting off, you know, with being in school all day. I'm just saying it's all geared to keeping them living that way. So we have to think about how we can teach them to be better and do better. We don't want to continue this generational curse of just, you know, living paycheck to paycheck.
Survival mode.
Survival, yeah.
Because working a 9 to 5 every single day and only having 2 days of rest or to handle all your personal business, that's not living, that's surviving.
Right.
So we need to get back to the point where we actually are living, you know, actually being out in nature, cooking your food from scratch instead of having to rely on all the processed foods at the grocery store, you know, like living, not just surviving. Yeah. And of course, I had to get me another necklace from the one and only Ampu. They also had a listening party for, so Ampu is 19 Keys' brother. I love both of them. Like, I love both of them. I learned so much from high level conversations with 19 Keys. And as a yogi, of course, I love watching Ampu and his Qigong practices and the music, the positive music that they both put out. I love it. So, yes, I had to get me another necklace. It's a nice little geode, okay? And I got this one from him last year. So I was like, okay, I wanted something. I wanted to get something. And this one stood out to me and matched with my outfit. So I was like, oh, okay, that's the one.
Yes, there was a lot of great vendors there, you know, and you know, I didn't really intend on doing a lot of shopping, but I just want to say this is a tip. When going to Investfest, wear comfortable shoes.
Yes. You're going to do a lot of walking.
Right, and which I did not bring. I thought I had comfortable shoes, but no, we're walking around. I was about ready to say, let's go. And then we ran into a vendor, and I was like, I just need some shoes. Like, and she didn't even have, like, a lot of shoes. She had more like heels and stuff. I was like, no. But when I went to her table, I was like, man, I need some comfortable shoes. And she was like, I got shoes. And she started putting on the shoes. Man, and I sat down and she found me some shoes.
Yeah,
guys.
she got her some flats.
Yes.
I got me some heels. She had, I'm going to show y'all a picture. These blue lace up heels. Fire. I love them so much. Like, I want to wear them everywhere.
Yes. I'm just saying, I was thankful for her.
Yeah, me too. I wasn't planning on spending that much money, but I was like, look, them cute. And she only had one left, and it was my size, so it was the mine. I had to get them. I just had to.
And they are cute.
They so cute.
Mm-hmm. And she was so nice. She let us sit down.
Yeah.
She pulled out everything for us.
Yeah, she did. She did. Yeah. So overall, it was just a really good time. We really enjoyed ourselves and enjoyed Atlanta. You know, Atlanta is a city of Black excellence. Yes. And so we enjoy being able to go to Cecili's twice.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, delicious.
Yes, love Cecili's.
Yes.
Healthy food, making sure that you're eating to live, not living to eat. You know, a lot of people are on this vegan kick, but they're eating processed vegan food and not actual plants, which, you know, we ain't gonna get too deep into that. Right. But so finding places that actually feed you healthy plants and, you know, non-processed foods, because
and that was also impressive too, because my aunt went with us and she's never tried vegan, and so we bought her a sandwich and she's still talking about that sandwich.
She loved it.
Yes.
And when we was in the car, she was like, I don't know, I need my meat.
Right. She really was.
Yeah.
But she just still was like very impressed. She's like, it was really good. So, you know, when we know better, we should do better. So, and with, you know, helping people, it it just makes you feel good when you see other people like, okay, yeah, I could do this, or just even willing to try, you know, willing to try it. So that was nice.
Yeah, definitely. So thank y'all for watching. Make sure you tune in to the reparations panel that I'm going to be discussing in my next video. And yeah, let us know what you thought in the comments, and or just drop some money bags, some flying money in the comments, you know, so you know, show their support. And yeah, we appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all in the next video.
In order for us to be able to take our power, are we low level or high level?
High level.
I didn't hear the ground shake. I didn't feel it yet. Are we low level or high level?
High level.
Are we low level or high level?
High level.
When I ask you who owns the culture, I need you to ask honestly, answer honestly. Who owns the culture?
I do.
I say honestly. You thought it was a trick question. Because we know that we are the battery packs of the culture. We know that they have utilized our spirit, our time, our energy, our attention, our money for centuries. Yet we have not been the owners of the culture. Now I want you all to have a thought experiment within self. Because something that I learned about the future is that unless you are the greatest influencer over your future, the greatest controller, the greatest funder and supplier of your future, you don't control it, you don't own it. Oftentimes we are asked about the future, and we are left to think about somebody else's plans for it because we don't have any plans for it. When you think of the future, it makes you think bigger. If somebody told you that, listen, I need you to put together an event, you only got 1 week. Well, you can't think too big, you have to think about the resources you have now to get something done. But if I told you, man, you got 2 years to get this done, I need you to start planning. All of a sudden, you start thinking big. You start thinking you can do anything, especially if you have the funds. But unfortunately, we've been stuck in a survival mode, not being the greatest controllers of our time. So when we think about planning, we think small, because we don't think we have that much time. So the moment that I need you all to take in today is to ask yourself, what does the future look like in 10 years? Who are the greatest influencers over our future? If you don't have a thought of yourself being at the forefront, controlling your opportunities, controlling your wealth, and controlling your power, then you are a slave to the future and somebody has plans for you. We exist in the greatest moment on this planet Earth. That's living in the now. But when you're stuck in the now, and you don't know how to project yourself far out, then you get what they call future shock. Future shock when things are changing so much, you get disoriented. You start to be stressed and have anxiety. How many people have experienced anxiety over the last couple of years? People that probably never experienced it before, all of a sudden they can't think, because every single week the world changes. 1 week is AI, the next week is aliens. Next week Trump getting arrested. The world changes so fast, you don't have time to process the new shift that comes in. So therefore, you don't have power and control over, well, how am I going to intake this? What am I going to do with it? And we're stuck in a culture of what's called fast consumption. We consume things so fast. As soon as an album comes out, we're thinking about the next album coming out. Because we're stuck in survival mode, waiting to be stimulated by the next thing. How many people in here watch high-level conversations? Do high-level conversations as a podcast. I guess that's why they don't put me on their list when they talk about the top 10. Even though I don't care what network they talk about, we got bigger numbers and we got bigger conversations.
The surgeon didn't have to be in the next room to the robot. The surgeon could actually be in another country telling the robot what to do on the patient. And so that's where I got my first introduction to AI. Was we built autonomous agents to do that work over the network. So essentially, I was at this HBCU and I knew if I went to this majority institution, they was gonna sleep on me.
It comes in, including if you're a doctor. Like some of your jobs are kind of rendered, obsolete. So on that note, as Cash, I know you created something where you're utilizing AI to actually benefit people. Can you tell us a little bit about Book Rich and Not Very Judged and how you're utilizing AI in our favor and not against us?
Yeah, 100%. So, first and foremost, I've been in office since 2009. And I always talk about the importance of, your legacy. When people think legacy, they only think about money. They think about how much money you're gonna leave, generational wealth. But the truth of the matter is that your intellectual property is your legacy, right? Like your name is your legacy. Napoleon Hill wrote Think and Grow Rich 84 years ago. He's been dead since the 70s, but still, if you go to Amazon right now, Think and Grow Rich is the #1 bestseller on Amazon right now if you search it, right? And just think about this. If a lot of us had MySpace, Black Planet, whatever, and you were putting content on there, right? Now, when those companies decided that there's no more Black Planet, there's no more MySpace, all of that content is gone. And so people think because of social media that, I got an IG or I got these followers, and they think that's their legacy, that's their content. But the truth of the matter is that once those things go, right, where is your information going to live forever? And so I'm always telling people that you need to write a book, right? Like if you have breath in your body, if you have experience, if you have any walk of life, you need to put it in a book, and that knowledge is not only can you pass that down to the next generation, you can also help people, you can expand yourself, right? Millions of people could benefit from your time here on earth.
Information that was able to populate and you can then read. Then the next wave was called read and write. So this is kind of your Instagram area, your Twitter area, you're being able to actually publish your own content onto the internet, right? And so we're still living in these very finite number of organizations that actually own all of our data, own all of our media, own all of our content. And so the next wave, which is what we're super excited about within Industries Norwich and just the broader technology industry, is the ability for you to actually own your content, own your website, own your entire ecosystem. So you're actually eliminating the middleman, which is where the biggest issues where we see from creators not getting paid. Think about things about what happens with Spotify, what happens with YouTube, and the amount of content that you're putting out there, and yet the amount of dollars that you're actually receiving in comparison to the actual corporations. And so now with these next generation of applications that are going to be built in quote-unquote Web3, utilizing crypto technology, utilizing AI, are going to actually give the power to the creator, the power to the business owner, and then really allow what we call the application layer, that you don't have to think about, how do I use Ethereum blockchain, or how do I use a MetaMask wallet? Like, what type of prompts should I have to use in order to advance my content, my systems? You're going to have the next generation of applications that will make it super, super easy for you to continue to run your business, which is why we're extremely bullish on the future, not only of crypto, but why we believe AI can actually help save the world. You have a supercomputer in your pocket, and now you're going to have a generated assistant that can, help you with so many different things. The amount of times that we talk about the education system, within America, but now with AI, you're going to have an AI tutor that can help your child across this entire ecosystem. And it's not only just help, but also it's empathetic. And you can ask questions, and they'll be able to give you the answers and know exactly who you are. With creativity,
and how a lot of $1.8 trillion spending that we only give 2% to ourselves. So we have to speak with love. Self-love is making sure that you take care of yourself, your family, and people first. You can't wait for nobody to come see you. So there is a solution. Things are definitely digital as far as what's planned for us, but there's a way out. If we unify, we gotta truly unify, and then truly start making decisions that support our communities. We can't forget there's